What are they doing? Watching TV?
Yep. Hi, everybody. How you
Hey,
doing?
everybody.
It is like it says. He's in the hot area. I'm in the freezing cold, more snow. But the bright side is, spring is less than 2 months away. At least on the calendar, anyhow. Um, I know a lot of people, even farmers, are itching to get in the ground, get working in the ground and stuff. And right now, the farmers are busy fixing their equipment for the planting season. They do it every year. Make sure their equipment is top notch. So, um, anyhow, we thought we'd come on and just talk and visit with anybody. But um, being that the gas prices are high, and a lot of people like to grow. Hi,
Hey,
Christy
Christy.
Sue. A lot of people like to grow their gardens from, their food in the gardens. Here's a legit question. How many of you would be willing to turn the dirt with a shovel and use a hoe? Hi, Ken folk. We're doing good, baby.
Hey,
How are you
kinfolk.
doing? Um, you know, and yeah, turn the dirt with a shovel and bust it up with a hoe and use a garden rake to be able to have your ground ready for planting your seeds in to grow your food. How many would be willing to do it that way? The reason I ask is because garden tillers haven't been around as long as what a lot of people think. Um, Back in the 50s, mom and dad and the family would go out and they would turn the garden by hand, one shovel at a time. And then they'd break the dirt up and they'd break it out, They use the hoe and break it up and hoe it out. And yeah, Kenfolk, you know what I'm talking about, you know. Um, but if you don't have gas to run your tiller, you know, then how you gonna do it? Think about it. You know, the big farmers, their big elaborate machines wouldn't run because wouldn't have diesel or whatever kind of gas they use in them. A lot of them are diesel. You know, how would they do their fields to get the crops? To grow the hay and the straw for their animals. You know, or how about the oats for your bread? Think about this. This ain't no joke. It could very well end up being how things go. No, I'm not a downer. I'm just saying, you know, this could be how it has to be done. You know, um, but would you be willing to do it? Would you be able to do it? And yeah, they have electric um, garden tillers, but you have to have an extension cord and a solar power or some way of powering it. Well, then you have to be really extremely careful with that extension cord too. Or you could get a manual. Go ahead, laugh at me. I don't care. I'm a big girl. I can take it. A manual plow, and it plows the dirt one row at a time. Yep, they used to do that too back in the day. Even the fields, they used to do that. And the ones in the fields, they used the plow, and they'd have a horse or, a cow, ox, whatever, pull it to till the ground so they could plant the crops in. But you can get smaller ones for your garden. Would you be able to operate it? Would you be willing to operate it? You know? I mean, these are things to think about. And no, I'm not joking. They are really something to honestly think about. Um, you know, it's one way to thrive and survive and grow food. You know, um, I think growing food is a wonderful thing. Everybody should do it that can do it,
Yeah.
even if they grow things in coffee cans. Yeah, you heard me. Coffee cans. You can do it. Planters, buckets, the plastic feed sacks. Yep, you can use those to grow plants and or food in too. You know, um, it's just you're gonna have to be resourceful because the food chains and that it ain't gonna straighten up for a long time. You know, and it's just the way it is. So we have to do things what we can for ourselves, and they don't like that either. But you know what? Comes a point in time where you go, hey, the 1% ain't running me. You know, because like I said last time, gas prices are going up. And I said at this show too, gas prices are going up. They're not going to let them come back down. They want to make sure people can't afford to drive. They want to make sure people can't afford to go to stores and buy stuff too. And if you can go to the stores, they want to make sure that there ain't nothing there for you to buy. Um, they've got trucker shortages because they don't want to get the thing. Well, I don't blame them because the thing ain't the answer. Um, and the truckers, I know truckers. I know how the trucker's life is. Um, I know what it's like to be married to a trucker. Okay, so when the truckers stop, then it's gonna be too late. You know, and now they've got the driverless trucks. Yep, we're going there too. Um, the they're thinking that those are the answers to the shortage of drivers. Well, no, it's not really. But my husband was a trucker for a lot of years too. So Ken Folk would know. Ken Folk he could tell me right out. Yes, you're right on. No, you're way off, and you know, you're misinforming, whatever. But what I'm trying to say is, you can't blame the truckers. Okay, they're trying to do what they've got to do for a living and make money for their families and stuff. Because they've got families too. They've got to be able to take care of them. And it's just one of those things. Um, things got to come in off of boats. Now, this is what I don't understand about this. One, America used to provide everything this country needed and provided for other countries. We can do it now too. Plain and simple. We could do it now. All right. Second of all, there ain't no reason for things to cost what they're costing. None. Because the way they do it hasn't changed any. Oh, do you want to bring technology into it? Well, I'll tell you what. All your car dealers. Mm-hmm. Sounds like I'm really bashing the people for the cars now, don't it? No, I'm not. But all the car dealers, they're having, and other companies are having problems because of the chip shortage. Well, you know what? I remember when cars didn't have computer chips and all that, this and the other thing for a computer. Okay? And guess what? They worked. They worked good. And the way the prices on everything's gotten, that's just outright greed. Pure and simple. Greed. There ain't no reason for anything to be high price like
No.
it is. None. So, if I'm wrong, or if you think I'm wrong, say so. I'll listen. I'm a big girl. You know? What do you think, God's Night?
Yeah, the only real argument is going to be is, well, because cars need them because they need this. It's like it's the only reason why vehicles have all this fancy technology now is to make it easier. So that way you don't have to get up off your butt, pop open the hood, and check the parts for yourself like they used to back then. No, now you got to wait for your car's internal diagnostic systems to tell you, oh, your car's overheating, your gas pump's not working. You know, check your oil, check your transmission. People wait for that now. They wait for the vehicle to tell them what's wrong instead of checking out the vehicle from time to time to make sure it's working fine. If the spark plugs are dirty or you need to change either your fuel or your air filter. Now they just wait for the vehicle to tell them. And
Have
that's
they
just an example. Convenience. That's all it is. Vehicles don't need catalytic converters and computer and chips and brains, and they don't need none of that. They don't to function. They don't need it.
Nope. Never did. And they ran fine. They
Yep.
ran wonderful. And if you were what was called a tinker, okay? Um, most inventors were tinkers. Just saying. And you figured out a new way to do something to make a vehicle safer. The big companies would buy you out, and if you didn't sell to them, they'd just outright ruin your life.
Yeah.
Okay? Well, what do you think's going to happen when people aren't working? Because the jobs aren't there. They're, the jobs, oh yeah, there are jobs in big cities, but not everybody lives in big cities. Not everybody wants to live in a big city. I like wide open spaces myself, you know.
Yeah.
But
Same here.
um what are you going to do when you need to you need a you need something, okay? You're building something and you need a part. That's what I'm thinking. You need a part. And you get in your buggy and you go to town, okay? Your buggy could be your car, whatever. You could get on your horse, whatever. You could walk to the store, whatever. And they ain't got it. And oh, well, Phil, it's like this. We had to tell you, but yeah, we ain't getting that part no more. They ain't making it. Hi, Steve. How you doing, hon? Backwoods Misfits. Um, would you be able to make that part?
Hey, backwards.
Would you know somebody that could help you make that part? You know, because that part could be very interesting. A must-have, not a I'd like, but a must-have to make whatever it is you're making work. Would you be able to make it? Would you know how to take that
Mhm.
metal and bend it? Or how about a piece of wood? You know? Could you put two pieces of wood together without a nail? Oh my gosh. She went there again. Yeah, I did. Would you be able to make something stay together out of wood? Well, that's cool, Backwoods Misfit. I hope your stickers turn out pretty cool. Thank you, Misfit. Um, yeah, how would you be able to make that wood stay together without a nail? Kind of hard to believe, but you know what? Back in the day, they didn't use nails and they had their stuff stay together and it was built solid, you know? And they used to use ducktails. Um and that was another way that they held things together, you know? Would you be able to do that? Would you know how to do that? Um they used to do blacksmithing. Yeah, blacksmithing comes in handy. You know the hinges on your doors? Yep, they used to make them by hand. They didn't have a hardware store that you could go pick out a selection of them,
Yeah.
you know? In fact, the blacksmiths didn't like to make nails because they were time consuming and so um small to do that unless you were a rich person, you couldn't afford them. Just saying, you know? And I mean this is all stuff that is legit to ask. Would you? Would you be able to handle it? Would you be able to do it? You know? Would you know someone that does know how? Because um I get a kick and I kind of chuckle at the Shed Wars because this year they've got a kind of a competition, I guess you call it, the guys against the girls, right? And to see who grows the most food or whatever. Anyhow, uh, and I've said this many, many times before too, and I will repeat it again. Back in the day, Ma, she had to take care of the house. She had to raise the kids. She had to cook all the food, do all the dishes, everything by hand. But she was also out there right by Pa, working alongside Pa, learning how Pa done everything. Why? So when he had to go to town to get supplies or he took off or whatever, she could run the farm and keep the family going. And Pa, he was busy learning how Ma done everything in the house, helping right out alongside her. Oh yeah. Why? So that way, if something happened to Ma, be it she ran off or she got sick or hey, how about if she passed away, in childbirth or whatever, um, Pa still had to know how to do it all. And same went for Mom. Ma had to know how to do it all. There wasn't no we're better than the other guy. It was okay, honey, come on, let's roll up our sleeves and kick this together. And they did.
Yeah, there's no maid service or anything you can call up.
Yeah. That's because everybody's mates I figured this out a long time ago. Everybody's mates ran off with the butlers, got married, and started their own families. and done their own lives. Yeah, I figured that out a long time ago. But it sounded good, didn't it? You know. And there wasn't a milkman back in the day either. You know, they didn't have milkmans that went around and collected the milk for the longest time. I'm telling y'all. Um, Hi Mike, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, Mike?
And you know, would you be able to go out and squeeze the tits? Uh huh. Yep, that's what it's called when you milk cows by hand. Okay. Would you be able to do that if a cow's in labor and having problems and can't, push the baby out, the calf out? Would you be able to go out and pull it? Or what if the baby's a dead birth and she needs you to pull that cow out and that calf out of her so she can live? Would you be able to do it? Not many people can. Not many people know how. Oh, you have a pig. Hmm. Backwoods Misfit and Homestead Family Reclaimed. They're gonna go in the kitchen. They're gonna bake up cookies, but they're out of lard. They need lard. Okay. Would you guys know how to render your hog and process the meat so that you had food and you had lard that you needed for them cookies that those two guys want to bake in the kitchen? Can't believe Ma let them in the kitchen again. You know, you got chickens. Chickens give you eggs. Chickens give you meat. And it don't make any sense to have a chicken to have chickens and to get eggs if you're not gonna use the eggs. And when a chicken is past a certain age, their production for eggs cuts way down. So would you be willing? Would you be able to uh, harvest the chicken, kill it, clean it, you know, smoke it, store it in salt, whatever it took to can it, whatever, so you had meat for later on? Oh, and don't forget, you know, gotta be able to do the same with the cows and the pigs, and hey, sheep too.
Yeah,
Just
all your
saying.
livestock.
Would you be able to take that sheep and shear the wool off of it, clean it, and then uh spin the wool into thread, yarn, you know? Would you be able to weave it to make cloth so that way you can make clothes? Would you be able to make it so that you'd have thread to sew your clothes with to hold it together? I mean, I'm not I'm not exaggerating. I'm not fear mongering. I'm just asking legit questions.
I don't know how people would get that notion, anyways, JT. Because I mean, it's true.
Or how about
How are you gonna make a rag when you don't have anything to make a rag with?
how about and the guys? Some of these guys they're gonna love me for this one because they're hunters and stuff. You go out and you see a doe. I don't care if a buck or a doe. Your family needs food, okay? And you see a doe, and yeah, and it goes thump, and you walk over. Yep, we got supper for a couple for a couple nights. We're good. Would you be able to field dress it? Would you be able to um get the hide off of it in one piece? Would you be able to take that hide and tan it, make it into leather, as well as process your meat, which means cut it up, the way you want it? Would you be able to handle operating? I forgot this with the cows too. A hand grinder, you know? so that way you can make um you can make ground meat with it. Like your hamburger. You know, and if you take some ground pork, like sausage, and put it with deer, you can make patties with the ground deer meat. Then, just saying. You know, and no, when I say grounder, I mean one of them hand clamp it to the table, tighten the clamp down, and crank away, baby. You know, hey, that's true. Would you be able to take casings from a sheep, clean them, their intestine casings, clean them, so that way you would be able to make sausage links or, you know, other forms of meat that you buy in the store that's in casings. Would you be able to do it? Man, this lady, she just don't stop. Okay, you need a shovel, and there ain't no hardware store near you. You don't have blacksmith near you. Would you be able to make a shovel out of wood? Yeah, I said it. You can make shovels out of wood. You make axes out of wood too, and they actually work. Um, you know, would you be willing to take what it takes? How about operate a two-man saw so you can cut a tree down? So you got wood, you know? Would you be willing to do it? Would you be able to do it? Would you be able to take an axe and cut a tree down? Because, sorry, hate to tell you, but your gasoline chainsaw, it's empty. There ain't no gas. You know, this is all just stuff to think about. And oh, before the ladies start tee and ha ha, would you be able to wash your clothes without a motor? No dryer, no electric dryer, no gas dryer, no wash machine that plugs in. However, I'll tell you what, if you want to make sound effects while you do it by hand, feel free. Yeah, 'cause those sound effects sell it. All right. Um, would you be able to do it? You know, would you be willing to go and get your water from a creek and be able to clean it so that way you had clean water so you could drink, so you could do dishes, so you could wash laundry, whatever. Take a bath, you know? These are all things that are important for you to be able to do so you can survive, you know? Would you be able to have a way or make a way to keep your wood that you split after it's cured and dried and the sap's all out of it? Would you be able to build a way to keep it dry? Because there ain't nothing worse than wet wood to burn when you need it for cooking. Sorry. But when you need it for cooking, when you need it for heat, wet wood ain't the answer. I know. I'm coming off the wall with all this crazy malarkey stuff, and shucks, you know. It's just that this stuff is good to know how to do.
Yeah, because the convenience that as a society that we have at hand right now is not going to be around forever. And if it does, it's going to have a price.
Yeah.
A price that most of us don't want to actually pay for. Because right now everybody's, yeah, yeah, I'm independent, I'm self sufficient, blah blah, or I can be when I need to, and when that time comes, maybe it was all talk to prove a point, to look cool, or to be in the know like everybody else, and it shouldn't be like that. You shouldn't have to pretend to know things in order to be with people, because then that's just gonna hurt you in the long run.
Well, here's a little secret. Ma's washboard could also end up being Dad's musical instrument. Just saying. Or maybe Ma plays it for a musical instrument. You know? Hi, Illinois Canary. How you doing, Jason? I
Hey,
mean,
come here.
it's just, these are things that we need to think about, you know? And I don't get me wrong, I don't begrudge, I don't look down my nose at people that's got the fancy power tools and all that stuff. But sooner or later, those batteries run out. And sooner or later, the companies don't carry your batteries anymore because that's how they get you to keep buying new. Gotta keep buying new, you know? Um, that's pretty sad, I know. But, and ooh, he's crafting. Jason, what are you making? I like hearing his crafting. He's gonna end up getting into the jewelry department yet. You watch. I can already see it coming. A lot of the guys they make a lot of different things. I wanted to know what the smart people are talking about here, so here I am. Jason, if the smart people were here, you'd be on the show with us. What do you have to say about that one, huh? Poxy, so and some earrings. Hey, that's cool. That's really cool. The other day he was in his van and I asked him, I said, so what are you doing with the Effingham van? Not thinking, I was just calling his van the Effingham van. And he says, I am in Effingham. And I started laughing. I was like, well, I gave the name to your van, you know. But it was all good, you know. Um I don't know about the smart people. I just know that what we're talking about is ways that could actually save a lot of people's lives, you know. And I also know that we can talk about it, we can put it out there. Um, we can tell people, we can show people, but it's like the old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink.
Yeah, no
If they
matter
don't
how
want to know,
smart and intelligent you are, you cannot make that horse drink water if it does not want to drink water.
well, I just thought Effingham Van sounded so polite. It was a good name for it. But yeah, I mean, the I know I can talk to you guys because I'm preaching to the choir because y'all know this same stuff that I'm talking about. But here's the deal: one person, one other person that don't know, none of us, stumbles across this and it helps them. Gets them thinking, it gets them going. It gets them going, hey, I want to grow food, you know? Um, hey, I want to learn how to do this. I want to learn how to do that. It's worth it. It's priceless. Okay?
Yep.
And there ain't no amount of money. And I don't care if you're YouTube or what. There ain't no amount of money that can make that worthwhile. You know, no money can touch it because that helped one person and it helped them make their life stable, made it so they could function. That's priceless, you know? And it's like all the guys that go fishing. No, I ain't knocking you. But I'm gonna tell you something. All you guys that go fishing, all you guys that go hunting, you know, I don't knock you guys at all. Why? Because you'll eat for a lifetime. You take and you give a person a fish, they'll only eat for a meal. You give a person a package of deer meat or a pork chop or ground pork or ground turkey, whatever, okay? They're only going to eat for a meal because they don't know how to do it. They don't know, you know? Right. Tools, food, water, shelter, and heat. You got it good. I mean, it sounds crazy. It does. It sounds crazy. But, okay, for whatever reason, they shut the gas off. And you only have a gas heater or furnace in your house. How you gonna heat your house? Okay? You have gas and you have electricity. They shut the electricity off. That's fine and dandy. Is your water heater gas or is it electric? How's that gonna work? Is your furnace gas or electric? How's that gonna work? Yeah, 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 yeah. The burners on your stove work on top. But what about the oven? How's that gonna work? It ain't, you know? So that's why, yeah, you have to, sometimes it's better to have a backup plan and then a backup plan to the backup plan. Just saying, you know, because
Yeah.
it's a must, it's important, you know? And like here, I looked it up. I looked up the frost date. I know when it's coming. Yes. Is your log splitter gas? Is it electric? Okay. Oh, you want me to do what? Jason, what do you want me to do with this axe? You want me to take this axe? Do I have to use the pointy side or can I use the flat side of the axe to hit that log that you just put out there for me? Can I hit it with the flat side or the pointy side? Which one do you want me to hit that with? So we could start a fire? Yeah, the well pump, is it electric? How you gonna get the water out of it? You know? I mean, yeah, I was joking around with Jason about the axe. You want to know the wood side. you want to you want to know how to operate an axe, and you want to be able to do it safely. You something in the wrong in a person's hands that don't have a clue what they're talking about or what to do with it, that is dangerous. Okay? That's how people get hurt. Um, and I've also looked into manual wood splitters. Yeah, it operates under your power, manual, people power, wood splitters. I've checked into those. Those are pretty cool. Um, you know, your electric wood splitter, your gas wood splitter, after a while, you know, how are you going to work it? Um, well, if my buddy's standing close enough for me to have to worry, do I pick the logger to my buddy's body? Um, they better get the heck back because that's not a good place for him to be. You always use safety first when it comes to doing things like that. But yeah, you cut, you split wood away from you, with an axe. You have it on the ground or on top of a split stump that or a chunk of wood that sits flat that you can put other pieces of wood on top of flat and stand it on end and split it. Yeah, you want to be able to not hurt yourself either or anybody else. You know, it's just one of those things that, I mean, there's a lot to take in and no, it's not, it's common sense, okay?
Exactly, it's common sense. People tend to overanalyze or overcomplicate something simple because they've never done it before.
Yep. I mean, yeah, when you go from doing everything easy to doing everything manually, yeah, at first it's gonna take you a while. But don't give up. Keep at it.
Yeah,
Ain't none of us are perfect. Ain't none of us perfections, you know, because we could go back to the early 1900s, or we could go back to the 1800s, 1700s. The 6 foot rule is a good one when working with me. 6 foot rule. How about if I just go, okay, if I'm two lengths of my body away from you, we're good. Why? I'm under 6 foot. And 2 lengths of my body would have me at definitely over 10 feet. So that'd be a safe range unless the head of your axe or something like that came off, you know. And trust me, that does happen, you know. Do you know how to operate a wedge? When you're cutting down a tree, sometimes you gotta put a wedge in there so your saw can keep moving to cut that tree down. I have a tendency to flay around like a fish out of water for no apparent reason. Well, gee, I'm sorry to hear that, Jason. I'm just. All I got is snow. Would that help you? I wouldn't want you flailing around like a fish. out of water. I could put him in the. I could get him in the dump cart, take him down to the river, hit the dump bucket latch, fling him into the river. That might help him better. Although it's really cold this time of year, I'm telling you. You know, just although I can see this going down, he's a lot bigger than me. And then I'd have his wife, and no, that's not a good picture. His wife would come and get mad at me, you know. Hi, where to begin, Homestead? How you doing?
Hey,
Oh,
where to begin?
I go live every Sunday at noon. Welcome. I'm glad that you're here. You think the polar plunge would straighten me out? Jason, I don't know. I don't know if anything can straighten you out. I mean, after all, you and I, we have a lot of fun, you know. Um, we joke around about the town Effingham, which also happens to be in Effingham County. Yeah, I know. I'll look this all up one day out of shits and giggles and giggles and shits. But it's good, you know. Um, a lot of I know Homestead Aquarius. He's been sick too, so um, but and if you want to learn about gardening, then there's Shed Wars, and there's all kinds of videos that you can learn from. Um, just punch in hashtag Shed Wars 2022. 22, okay? Hashtag Shed Wars 22, and you'll find all kinds of um channels that are participating in it. And if you have any questions, you can ask Homestead Aquarius. He's got a channel. You could ask, will it grow? He might tell you that he's going to suspend you, but I keep telling him he can't. He's got to give people green suspenders before he can suspend them, you know. And anyhow, he'll answer questions. And then you have Miss Lori from Lori's World. She's the secretary, and she'll answer your questions. All these people talk to you and answer questions, about gardening and stuff. But it is so important right now for everybody to do their own gardening. Grow what you can of food. If you can grow a cow, you know, most farmers back in the day, y'all can think I'm crazy, but I'm gonna tell you, most farmers back in the day, they had two cows, one for milking, and that cow was the one that they got their milk from, and then one for harvesting. Okay, come wintertime, they would harvest the one cow so they had meat to get through the winter with, and they'd keep their milk cow, so that way they had milk. You know, and that's kind of what they did with the pigs too. And if they had lambs, they'd do the same there. You know, depend on if they need somebody that could spin the yarn, clean it, or clean the wool, clean it and spin it and weave it. You know, to make cloth, to make sewing thread. I mean, there's a lot of different stuff that you can use and spin besides that. And goodbye. Christy Sue got her. Timed her out. Awesome job, Christy Sue. But yeah, you know, we're not trying to upset anybody. We're trying to help. We're trying
Well, I
to
mean,
encourage.
if facts or truth or information affects people like that, then that's on them.
Help. And I'm waiting. I'm waiting for spring to come. Why? Because I'm itching to. I'm itching to get out there. I'm itching to do my gardening. You know,
Well,
I'm
sometimes you
itching to
gotta
be able
nudge
to.
people to wake them
I'm
up.
I'm itching to be able to do a lot of uh things I want to do outside to make videos. You know, but I'm itching right now. Go outside. You're freezing.
Yeah, tend to your snow garden.
Oh yeah, it just keeps getting more and more snow on it, and we get the sub-zero temperatures for it. But hey, you know, I didn't quite see that. What the heck she put up there? Chrissy C got a comment. Hi, Laney. How you doing? Number one, be yourself.
Hey, Laney.
Awesome. Where to begin homestead? Went and bought some dirt, some stuff, some soil amendment today. She's a itching. I'm telling you, people are just a itching to get out and do this. You know what? I don't blame you. I'm a itching too. Got new lawnmower. Actually, got two new lawnmowers, and I'm itching to crank and go. And when you see what kind I've got, chances are you'll just shake your head and go, well, that's not surprising knowing her. However, feel free to make your sound effect if it helps you feel better. You know, let's see,
Yeah,
I've
the
been
immersion.
randomly placing frozen pumpkins around so they will volunteer everywhere. Good luck, neighbors. Yeah. Hey, Huga, how you doing, honey?
Hey, Huga.
Those frozen pumpkins, Jason, they actually might grow. Those seeds might actually grow. Wouldn't you feel funny then, huh? I mean, wouldn't you, yeah, you would laugh because all these pumpkins started coming up in the neighborhood and now the neighbors planting pumpkins. Who done it? I don't know. It's kind of like eating a piece of watermelon, sitting outside and spitting it, seeds around randomly, spitting in some seeds in somebody's flower pot that they ain't got nothing in. And all of a sudden, the watermelon vine starts growing and they can't figure out what plant that is. And then they can't figure out who planted it in there. You don't tell them. You just kind of smile and chuckle. Do the same thing with sunflowers.
Well, yeah, I saw birds playing around in that pot. Maybe one pooped out a seed.
Laney, have a good nap. Um, I don't know who would do anything like that. Had you spit seeds for tomatoes? Yeah, it's a good way to plant them. I'm serious, Jason. You know, it really is a good way uh, to plant seeds. Serious. You could take sunflower seeds and throw them around um a mailbox outside. The mailboxes that people out in the country get their mails in. You plant sunflowers. Just throw a bunch of sunflower seeds down at the bottom of one of them, and before you know it, you got sunflowers coming up. And nobody in the neighborhood could figure out why all of a sudden there was sunflowers that grew there. They never saw you work the dirt or anything, but yet those flowers come up. You know, it's like collecting nuts, cracking nuts. Hi, Michael Sharp. How you doing, hon? Would you be
Hey,
willing
Michael.
to collect them? Would you be willing to crack them? Would you be willing to get in a fight with the squirrels because they wanted some of them? You know, I mean, it's a good way to forage for food. You know,
Yeah.
yeah. Plant sunflower seeds. You can plant them on the edge of your garden.
Yeah, a lot of
You
seeds are
know,
surface seeds. They'll burrow themselves in as they grow.
and not only that, the raccoons might get your sunflowers before you get to the sunflowers too.
Yeah, freaking
You know,
raccoons.
I've had that happen. I've had raccoons take out my whole cornfield and popcorn. Yep, planted
Those are freaking
popcorn.
snipers.
And all they did, they left me the stock. Wasn't that nice of them? You know what I mean? Right. The reason he put 'em in the roots in the driveway is so that way when they drove over them, they'd take the husk off and you didn't have to. And then he'd dry them out and he'd put 'em up and then crack 'em over the winter. So Grandma had the walnut meat, so that she could put them in the brownies and homemade fudge and all that good stuff. I know. Yep, done that quite a few times too. You know, I mean, they did this stuff. They didn't do it because they were being wasteful. No, back when Grandma and Grandpa uh were alive and done stuff, they didn't do it because they were wasteful. They done it because they didn't waste anything. You didn't get rid of anything just because you got tired of it. You didn't get rid of a pair of pants just because it got a hole in it. You sewed a patch on the daggone things and you kept wearing them. Or you'd take a bigger kid's pair of pants that they didn't fit anymore and you make it smaller for the next kid down. And you didn't throw them away. Even when the baby couldn't have clothes made out of them anymore. You used them for rags. You didn't just throw things away, you
Yep.
know? I mean, everything had more than one user. Actually, you didn't have it, you know? They didn't live fancy. They made things work,
That's why
you
we're
know?
a throwaway civilization now. Everything's uh, expendable. It breaks down fast.
Yeah, well, Michael, the war outlook is it's like I was watching this one video earlier and they said that in the 90s, okay, in the 90s they had bell bottom pants and they were big in style and Britney Spears, and I went, back of that trolley wagon. The bell bottom pants and even elephant leg pants, which were bigger than bell bottoms, came out way back in the 60s and 70s, not the 90s. Way before Britney Spears was even a twinkle in anybody's shorts, let alone okay? But, they like to rewrite things and tell things the way, they want them told instead of the way they were actually, you know. It's like back in the Great Depression. They knew exactly how many feet of material it was going to take to make a dress, to make a skirt, to make a blouse, to make a man's shirt, to make a pair of man's pants. And you would buy exactly that much, or you would save up the sugar sacks. Okay, the sugar sacks, the flour sacks, the uh, oats, and then all of that stuff was the materials. Okay, bags of materials made up. The bags were made of material, cloth. Okay, and then well, I'm right here. I don't see what. Come here. Hi, Dot. How you doing, hon?
Hey, Dot.
Okay. Um. Anyhow, you know, they would save up the material, and some of it had prints on it. Well, they'd get the print out of it, and then they'd sew it together, and that's how they made clothes. You know, they'd make shirts and stuff out of it. Sorry, had a distraction. Um, so I mean, it's just one of those things. Nobody wasted anything. If you stumbled across a ball of yarn or string, and it was pieces just cut so long, tied together, I can tell you why. They were saving the string. It might have been the same color, whatever. They were saving it, and they would save it that way. Like your white thread would be one, your pink or blue or whatever. Might be butcher string, it might be yarn, whatever. But they would save it because they didn't waste, you know. And sounds crazy, but yeah, they didn't waste nothing. Um, you know, even the old bottle caps, the metal round bottle caps that you had to have the bottle opener for, not the pull tabs. No, 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 no. Not the plastic lid screw offs, no. These are before those, okay? They're after the cork bottles, okay? Anyhow, you could take those lids, and the women would use them to make decorations with, okay? Pictures or whatever. But the guys could take those lids, flatten them out, and guess what? You would have a saw blade. Yeah, they were sharp enough that they would actually cut, you know? Um, the blade is about as big as what a Dremel blade is, you know, and they would use it, you know. They didn't waste nothing. So if you're old enough, you'll know what I'm talking about. But if you're young enough, you ain't gonna know. But Grandpa, he would take the glass baby jars and he'd have a board out in his garage or his workshop, and there was always lids on the bottom. Okay, baby jar lids, jelly jar lids, whatever. Well, that's fine, but there was a reason why Grandpa done this. Because inside the jar that went to that lid, he had different size screws, nails, bolts, nuts, you name it, cotter pins, whatever. And then he'd take and he'd screw it back on that lid, and it would stay there. It was out of his robe, but yet it was handy enough that he'd just reach up and unscrew that lid and go to town again. You know, they didn't waste nothing. Um, that's why no, I wasn't picking on Tinkers when I started talking about Tinkers. Tinkers were really smart people. They knew a little bit how to do a little bit of everything. And if they didn't, they had somebody they knew that was a friend of theirs that would help them out with a piece that they couldn't make. You know, but well, thank you, Jason. Yeah, um, it just you know, you, the more you know how to do things, the better off you are. I know not everybody knows everything. Okay, nobody knows everything except for um God. God knows everything. You know, whatever your God is has your answers. But it's gonna get back to that, guys, where everybody's gonna have to know how to do. And if you don't know how to do, you're gonna not be able to do it. Well, that's fine. Like I was saying, first when you start, you're gonna be slow, but don't give up. Keep trying, keep doing it. You'll get faster. You know. Um, and let's say Martha down the street. I don't know no Martha down the street, but let's say there's a lady down the street, Martha, and she's trying. She's just getting frustrated. She wants to give up. No, go down, give her a word of encouragement. Keep encouraging her. Work with her, help her, teach her, try to figure out things, an easy way for her, to do it. And if you don't know, and she don't know, and she's got a problem, figure it out together. There ain't nothing wrong with that, you know. I
Or she
mean,
knows something you don't know.
yeah, Martha might know Billy Ray Joe Bob Hinker, whatever, you know, and he might go, "Hey, what are you two girls trying to do there? That you're going what? You're doing it the hard way. Now come here. I'm gonna show you something, and I'm gonna make sure you guys know how to do this. I'm gonna show you how to do it. I'm going to walk you through it so I know you've got it. And it's just the easiest way of whatever, you know. It's just yeah, there ain't nothing wrong with it. But I'm gonna tell you, if you don't try, you ain't never gonna get no place. And okay, so first time you try it, you don't do it. It don't go very good. Well, that's okay. Wait a couple days. You got other things you gotta do anyhow. Take a break. Walk away. Hi, Ashley. How you doing?
Hey,
You know,
Ashley.
and then you got other things to do, so you do your other things that you gotta do. And a day or two later, hey, I was gonna do that again. So you try it again. Well, hey, you know what? Jason got a little better that time around. You know, and so he's doing it. He's getting it. Well, then you got like Booga. She's like, hey, I seen him. He was doing something over there. So she goes over. She's like, hey, Jason, what are you doing? And he says what he's doing. And can I try? And, sure. And she tries. Well, she ain't very good at it. Jason says, ah, shucks, ain't none of us that good when we first start out. We gotta keep at it. You know? I mean, it's just how it is. Nobody's perfect at it. you gotta do it for a long time before you get really good at it, you know. But that's why, grandma and grandpa, they took care of their stuff. They didn't throw it around. They didn't break it up. They didn't beat it. They took care of it. They respected their stuff. They knew that it took them a long time to get that stuff, you know, and the stuff that they got during their time, yep, it was built a lot better. Yep, it lasts a lot longer too. Yep, and if you've got it, count your blessings, man, and hang on to it and don't get rid of it. Why? Because it's better
Oh yeah,
made than
sure.
what the stuff is nowadays,
Uh, yeah.
you know? So, stuff made nowadays ain't made to last. It's what got everybody being a throwaway society. And I never bought into that one.
Yeah, me neither.
I never believed in buying throwaway. I always went for the older stuff. Everybody looked at me like I was crazy. You know? I mean, it was built to last. That's what I liked about it. Sounds crazy, sounds odd, but that's the way it is. You know, you want your stuff to last you. You don't want your tools to crack or fall apart. You know, you want them to last. And heck, you might want to pass them on down to somebody else. You know, and so I mean, you gotta take care of your stuff, man. You know, and just because you don't have a lot of money, don't mean that you can't take care of your stuff so your stuff lasts you a lot longer too. You know, and if you do have a lot of money, it don't mean that you need to blow your money just so you can show that your neighbors, hey, I'm a big person over here. I've got all this stuff.
Yeah.
Can you use it? Do you know how to operate it? Nope, but I got it. You don't.
Oh, you
I'm
have the. Oh, you have last year's model. I have the model 2 years in the future now because I
yeah.
can afford it. That kind of garbage. Now, it gets you nowhere. That
Nope.
competition.
Nope. Not just
Yeah.
that. Not only does it not get you any place, it don't get the person that's doing it any place either.
Yep.
You know? Yeah, they got a lot of stuff, but if they don't know how to use it, they ain't got none.
Oh
They
yeah. No,
got
I've
fancy
I've
paperweights. That's all they
I've
got.
seen that. I've seen friends and family do that. They have all the latest electrical tools and they're just hanging up a wall, pretty colors and everything, but they don't use them. They just sit there.
Oh, dust collectors. All right.
Yep. Hey, Grey Wolf.
Hi, Grey Wolf. How you doing?
Yep. Just so it looks all fancy and nice, like they're professional, but they barely even use the tools because they go to either they call a handyman or they go to a shop and get the work done. They don't do the work themselves. It's a
That's
waste. It's a
sad.
waste.
Yeah, it is. I mean, to me, that's like going to gambling and blowing money and then going afterwards going, well, heck, what am I gonna do? I gotta buy food. I gotta pay my bills, and I ain't got no money.
Yeah.
Next time you wanna go gambling, give me your money. Okay? I can guarantee by the time you come back out of that gambling casino, I'm going to have the money spent, but I'm going to have stuff to show for the money, and it's going to be stuff that's useful to have. Oh, we're doing good. As long as you don't mind sub-zero temperatures and wind chills and snow. We got a lot of snow. You want some snow? I can give you some snow. Yeah, do you own your stuff or does your stuff own you? Actually, his question is more like, Do you own your stuff or does the bank own you? Because if you don't own it and you got a loan, guess what? The bank owns you and your stuff. You know? I like owning my stuff because then I know it ain't gonna cost me no electricity, no gas to run, and I can make sound effects all day long. They're free. They come with the package. If I own it, double your money. Fold it in half and put it in my pocket. Yeah, I'll put it. I'll fold your money in half and I'll put it in my pocket. That way, I can get more stuff to, tools, and I'll teach you how to use the tools. Teach you what the name of them are. You know, I mean, it's all good. We'll all have fun. And you end up with stuff that you can actually use.
Another one, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I got rid of it completely that time. But yeah, I mean, if you need clothes, you gotta be able to know how to make this stuff. Do it. Do your tools. You know, it's like operating a manual screwdriver. The world will never be the same. You know, how about operating a manual planer? Ooh, that could be scary. It can be fun too. You know, because when everybody became instant gratification, they really ended up hurting themselves, and the schools that helped push that theory of thinking really hurt the kids that they pushed it to, because not everything's instant gratification. You plant a seed in your garden. It takes how long? Oh, and then it gives you fruit. Okay. Well, that's just like building something, making something out of wood, making something out of metal. It's not instant gratifications, you know. Um, it takes time, you know. Oops. Um, it takes time to make things, and
That
it
was
takes
fast.
time to yeah, it takes time to make things. It takes time to prepare your food, grow your food, um, to be able to say this is good, you know. But when you get done building something, it's just like your garden when you get done growing it and you got all that food to show for it, you know, um, it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a
You have
rewarding thing.
you have such proud you are so proud of what you accomplished. Other people don't need to tell you, "Hey man, your garden was amazing." You know, You don't. Why? Because you know what you done. You see what you done.
Yeah,
And then
if
you,
it's feeding you, if it's producing for you, that's amazing enough
yeah.
in itself.
And you have, if you grow enough that you have to worry about how you're going to store it, even better. You know? I mean, come on. There ain't nothing wrong with that. You know? It's just, yeah, it's one of those situations where you go, alrighty, I'm doing good. Hey, look at that. I grew a whole 2 tomato plants, you know? And I got 12 tomatoes off of them things. Never grew a tomato plant before. Well, guess what? You grew 2 tomato plants and you got 12. That's 12 more than what you had before you planted the plants. So you're coming out ahead there,
Yeah.
you know? And I went and I am in on the shed wars this year. I'd never done it before. Um, my ways of gardening aren't common, normal, or conventional, I guess is the word I'm looking for. I do things a little different than most people, but that's okay because that's me, you know. And I've grown a garden for a long time. It's just I never stopped and weighed the vegetables and stuff when I took them out of the garden. I never did that before. And they said, well, when you start doing it, you'll be surprised how fast that adds up. Okay, so we shall see. You know, um, hopefully it all works out and the weather works out and we have a good
Dang.
we have a good turnout this year. You know, I mean it's just yeah.
A good turnout of snow.
No, a good turnout of fruit of vegetables and
Yeah,
stuff.
I know. I know.
You know, because it helps out. You know, and I'm hoping this gets across to somebody that needs it. Um, needs to hear it because we put a lot of information in this one, guys. And I know most of you guys it's singing to the choir, but it's okay. You know, um, it's one of those where we don't give up. We just keep going forward. You know, we have down days. We're not all yahoo, yippee, and skippy, and butterflies and flowers. Sometimes we get down too, and when we get down, we want to cheer you guys up, and we want to encourage you, and we want to encourage ourselves, you know, and um, call it good, and um, we want to encourage people to do good, and when you're happy, if you plant your garden and you're in a good mood and you're happy, your garden's gonna do good. If you plant your garden and you're in grumpy, grumbly, ornery, obnoxious mood, guess what? It might not do so good. It's just like cooking. It's
Oh
like
yeah.
anything. You gotta make something. If you're in a good mood, it'll turn out good.
Yeah, if you're
If you're
doing
in,
angry dishes, you're gonna break your dishes.
if you're in an angry mood and you're building a cabinet, that cabinet ain't gonna be straight. It's gonna be all misformed.
Yep.
You know, it's like baking cookies. If you're not in good mood, them cookies aren't gonna be so sweet. They ain't gonna taste so good either. You know, it's just how they are. And when you're down, just remember tomorrow's another day. The sun's always gonna come out tomorrow, and just 'cause you're down today don't mean that you'll be down in 5 minutes from now. Don't mean you'll be down tomorrow either, 'cause a person's mood's kind of like the weather. Wait 5 minutes, you'll change your mind. You know, unless you're a wife doing the inside of a house or redecorating or whatever, remodeling, then all I can say is good luck, honey. You might want to move outside and let your wife be alone in that room.
Yeah, I agree. Just let her do her own thing.
Not to just let her do her own thing, leave her in there so that way while she's going through her whatever ritual or behavior or whatever,
Her mood swing.
yeah, that
Yeah,
stuff, that you're clear of it and you ain't getting hit with any of it. Why? First of all, there ain't no reason for her to be like that. Second of all, there ain't no reason for him to be like that, but, you know, work together. It'll work out better. It'll come together faster. And whatever you're doing, do it within your means. If you ain't got the money, don't do it. Because there ain't no reason for you to go in debt to do it. Just so you can say, I did it. You know?
yeah. And it only cost me this much.
Yeah. It's kind of like the fish that got away that was this big.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with living within your means. Okay? Because, first of all, money can't buy you happiness. And that is true. Because if it did, the rich, greedy people wouldn't be so greedy. They would be
Exactly.
happy.
They're not fulfilled.
They wouldn't be the ones going into the boutiques and stealing stuff either. Oh, yeah, they do. They get caught doing it too. You know.
Well, they do everything that the average people do. Is just well, like yesterday. You know, a big name got into a really bad accident, and he didn't suffer the consequences that you and I would.
Oh, yeah. But he didn't. He. And I love that story because of the simple fact they showed pictures of this incident from two
Yeah.
different sides.
Yep.
That vehicle never rolled.
No punishment at all. He went free.
Nope.
But someone was injured seriously, and if
Yep. And
our insurance would be so bad just because we injured somebody in an accident like that. But since they're privileged and they got their they're up and up there, wealthy and special, they they don't suffer the consequences we do.
no.
And do you think that to me that wouldn't be fulfilling because like, oh crap, I hurt somebody? Oh
Well,
damn.
not just that, but the other lady. I love that other picture that I showed you about it.
Yeah, she's chewing that dude out. Yeah, it looks like it anyways.
Yeah, not only was she chewing him out, I hope he realizes she was actually bigger than what he was.
Yeah, yeah, that was a pretty big lady. Plus, he's old too, so he's not as big as he used to be either.
That don't matter when there comes a time where they've got to take your license. So be it, because he didn't drive. He was driving down the street. He drove up on the side of one car and hit another car, and his car was suspended because it was resting on the first car that it drove up alongside of.
Yep.
Okay? And it didn't flip. It just hung there. But he hit another car pretty much head on with that big vehicle.
Yeah, and
Okay?
climbed on top of it. Like I said, he was like at a monster truck rally or a car derby.
Yeah.
The way it looked like that poor little red car, man. The front end was all tore up.
And
Prius garbage vehicle.
I'm going to tell you something. Okay? I don't care what state you're in. And I've known this to happen because I've known the ones that done it. There was there's been judges that's gotten tickets, okay? The other officers, oh, you can't do that. Why not? Because as a judge, and your point is,
Exactly.
that is a person. He's not above the law. So that one officer gave him a ticket. Guess what? That ticket stuck. Okay? The judge got held accountable. Now, I don't care if you're a governor.
That's the
I
magic
don't
word.
care. I don't care if you're a state representative. I don't care if you're a senator or a congressman or even the United States president. You break the laws, guess what? Ain't a one of you above them. Okay? And yeah, the guy was a governor. But you know what? Don't mean nothing. Don't mean nothing at all. It don't mean that you're not above having your driver's license taken away because you're too old to drive. That's a normal part of life, you know? And usually bigwigs, they have chauffeurs that drive them, you know? Just saying.
Hey, Victoria. Good morning.
Hey, Victoria. But yeah, in all fairness, in all factuality, that is one ex-governor that should have had his short hairs in handcuffs. Just saying.
Well, then people have a habit of driving vehicles that they can't handle, that are too big for them. And those bigger vehicles have blind spots and they don't pay attention to them.
Yeah, well, his wasn't really a SUV as much as was a Hummer. And there ain't I don't care. There is no reason for them to even be driven on the streets. The military, they use them wise because they can put more people in them than, and equipment in them for transport. That's different. But the American highways and that, no. Streets, no. You know, these streets were not made for
Yeah,
wide
but they still classify them as
vehicles.
an SUV, anyways.
Yeah,
That's
well,
the
they're
problem.
not. They're not. So, it's time for a reality check. You know, I mean, and not only that, there was just him in there. You know,
Yep.
there was no reason for him to even be driving it. He's not in the best, well kept shape. Trust me, he can't pump you up. He can't do it. You know, it's pretty sad though. But yeah, he's getting out of it. He's getting away with it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's sad. That is just pure outright sad. You know, it's kind of like that other situation that we were talking about the one night. It's simply amazing how Martha Stewart went to prison for it, and yet now those in office that are doing the exact same thing think they shouldn't be held accountable for it. How sad. Welcome back, Where to Begin, Homestead.
Yeah, politics is dirty. It's a dirty arena.
Awesome. She sews clothes. She repairs. Thank you. Big hand for Where to Begin, Homestead. Not too many people repair clothes. You know, um, remember, majority of people are throwaway people. You know, it's just. Oh, and here's another thing about sewing. Do you have a sewing machine that will work without electricity? Could you still manually operate it? Can you sew by hand? You know, some people can sew good with machines. Some people can sew beautifully with by hand, and you can't tell that it was done by hand when you look at it.
Yeah.
You know, you can't tell the difference when they do it from doing it by hand in a sewing machine. I mean, it's just amazing. Can you do it? You know, all this stuff, all these things that we've been talking about, they're good things to. Yeah, no, why was I didn't mean exactly you per se. I just meant I was asking people in general. But hey, that's even better yet. She did do it by hand. Her repairs by hand. That's awesome, sweetie. You know, um, a lot of people they can sew with a sewing machine, but they can't sew by hand. And a lot of people they have the fancy sewing machines, but they're all computerized. Well, then they can't sew when they ain't got the computer to working. You know, because they can't do it. They don't know how to do that. They just know how to program the sewing machine to do this stuff. And that's I don't know how they're gonna do it, but I'm pretty sure they'll figure it out. You know,
Oh, they'll figure it out or they won't do it anymore. It's one or the other.
yeah, yeah. Because a lot of your sewing machines with computer parts in them, you can't operate them without electricity. Now, my sewing machines, I can operate my sewing machines without electricity. I taught myself by hand and machine. When our kids were small, I made a lot of their clothes. Yeah, a lot of people, and that's another thing not too many people do that anymore. Oh, gee, I'm hungry again. I'm getting good at this. Well, I'm on a eating roll.
Snack time, huh?
Apparently. Ooh, I like that. Just nibble, nibble, nobble, nobble. But I mean, it's like okay, you're gonna want candy. Do you know how to make it? Because I gave up buying candy at the stores years ago already. Why? Because the amount you weren't getting for the money was no, I'm sorry, it's not worth it. The amount you were getting already then was so doggone small that it wasn't funny for the amount that you were paying, which they didn't drop their price any,
No.
you know. So that's why, yeah, I took to making us candy. Do you know how to make a cake from scratch? Do you know how to make pancake mix from scratch? Do you know how to make bread from scratch? All of these things are good to know how to do. Um, you're gonna laugh at me. You're gonna tell me I'm crazy, but here in this state, we used to grow wheat, and then the government said, "Oh, the wheat stuff, it don't turn out very good here," and God, get the farmers to not grow wheat. Well, guess what? That's the worst thing that they could have done. That's right next to them telling all the much you need to know how for sure. Yeah, but it's like, um, you know, it was sad that they done that because when they went from telling the farmers what they could and couldn't grow, where, what, and how, to, oh, you're a little farmer. Well, you don't need to be on farming anymore. We want all mega farmers. Well, guess what? Now they're going after the mega farmers. Okay? And they started going after the small farmers. Believe it or not, it wasn't even 30 years ago. Uh huh. You heard me. It wasn't even 30 years ago. And they started driving them out. And now they're going after the mega farmers. The mega farmers are the ones that, okay, Buford, if you have cows, you don't get to have pigs and chickens. Marcelo, now, girl, you want to have your chicken? That's fine. You can have your chickens, honey, but you don't get a cow and you don't get a pig. Nope, you just get your chickens. Oh, we have Raphael. You want pigs? Okay, Raphael gets the pigs, and Sue wants the sheep. Okay, got it. But y'all, you gotta stay miles away from each other. You can't have them too close. You can't have them all on your same farm because cross contamination, even though the animal's alive, you know. Um, that's what we're gonna call it. We'll yell cross contamination if you have more than one kind of animal on your farm and they're all alive, you know. God forbid, how the heck did Grandma and Grandpa grow all them animals on their farms back in the day? They kept their animals apart. They didn't have them all located in one general area. They had them apart,
Yep.
not just feet, but yards. Okay, a lot of yards apart. Okay, I know because I lived on a farm. And, you know, the families, they had chickens, they had eggs, they had um cows, they had milk, they had the pigs because they liked bacon and pork, roast too, you know, and they didn't get sick. They didn't have words like cross contamination either, you know, and they done good, you know. And now that the government's saying, "Oh, you're a mega farmer," well, we got no, 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 no. We can't have mega farmers now either. You know, so good luck. We can't have people growing food. We can't have people growing crops. We can't have people growing nuts. Oh yeah, there are trees. There are farmers that have crops that are nut trees that produce nuts, like your pecans. They have farmers that produce dates. They have farmers that produce olives. Yep, and peaches, and pears, and pineapples, and bananas, and oh my, you know. But you need to be able to grow your wheat because if you grow your wheat, you can make your bread. You make flour out of that wheat. And then you take the stalks and you have straw. Okay? Well then if you grow flax, this here one is a good one. If you grow flax, you take the stems of the flax plant, and you take it and you crush the outside of it, and then you comb it. That's what they call combing. Okay? And the more you comb it, the softer it gets. And then you can spin that and you can make thread out of it to make materials. And it will get soft and it's strong. It don't break, you know.
All right, later. Where to begin?
All right. Thank you. You have a wonderful day too, where to begin. But, I mean, they don't tell you all this stuff. But then again, they don't care. As long as they have what they need, what they want, they're good to go. And that's all that they care about, you know. So, I don't know. I just, I had a company, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it's a power tool company. Yeah, lifetime guarantee. My band Danny's. It don't hold a thread of water because of the simple fact when they change their batteries, where is their lifetime guarantee for the tool to app? It don't exist anymore. Just saying. So give me my manual tools and I'm a happy little camper, you know? And I'll tell you the good and the bad and the ugly about things. I'm honest about it, you know? I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to play games about it. I will tell you the truth on it, you know? And anymore companies don't like that. Makes you kind of wonder what kind of company they really are.
Yeah.
Because, the old saying, a man's handshake used to be his bond. A man's word used to be his bond. Well, when a company is a quote unquote global company, they seem to not go by any country's rule. None. You know? Well, it's pretty bad, sad too, because they really don't seem to back up their own product either. Just saying. So, that's even more why we need to be doing things ourselves. There ain't no reason why America can't be making this stuff. They had all these plants. Here's another thing most people don't realize. They have all these factories. Oh, they're outdated. Oh, well, wait. Guess what? That outdated stuff don't have computer chips in it. Okay, that's why it's
Correct.
outdated. That's the only reason why it's outdated.
Yep. Technology. There's the only reason why something gets outdated.
Okay? That stuff, those factories are still there.
But there's something called refitting, and you can refit all those old machines
Oh yeah,
with updated parts to yield a greater production.
without
That's all you
putting
got to do.
a computer
Exactly,
anything
without the
in it.
electronics, you could do it.
Yeah,
It just makes people's work a lot easier. Say someone's got to go and check out, how well the machine is producing, how fast it's producing. Is it slowing down? Is it breaking down? That's the only convenience about the technology. You wait for the machine to tell you when it's sick or when it's hurt or when it's broken. You don't go. It's reactive work now. It's not proactive work anymore. And that's all convenience. And we need to get out of that. That's the only reason why they say something is expensive now, because they can, because now they got their garbage technology in it. If it didn't have it, things would be way more affordable and we would have way more. We would have a greater surplus of things than we do now that would be used and we can export and make money off of it. But for some reason, the ones in charge think opposite is better.
that's because the one in charge have got their fingers in the stocks.
Well, yeah, they got the money. They got their money in their
They're
hands and
making
everything into everything.
they're making money
They
left
got
and
the
right,
majority.
and they're not supposed to be. This is a kicker. They're not supposed to be. It's called inside trading, and that's a crime.
Yeah,
Okay,
for them,
but
yeah. If
you
we do it,
ask
it's
them, they'll
illegal.
tell you ask them. Oh, it's fine. It's fine that we break the law. Those laws aren't for us. They're for you people.
Exactly. They set the rules of the game. It's already rigged from the start.
I mean, it's sad. Okay, and the majority of them in office, they're uh they're getting up there. And they're old. I mean, real old.
Yep.
Okay.
Nursing home old, and yet they're still up there.
All nursing home old is beyond the point of what old they are. You know.
For some of them, yeah. Most of them, they should be in a nursing home already.
Yep.
40, 50 plus years in the government doing nothing. Some
Pro
60, 70.
politician.
Yeah, it's
Pro.
crazy.
Hey, there's some that are in their 90s and then. Mhm. You heard me right. 90s. Okay. And I don't care what state they're from, what jurisdiction they may live in and may not. Okay. You're there to represent the people, only you don't. You represent the lobbyists, who represents the corporations, who represent the businesses. Hmm. You know what? Then you shouldn't think you need to run the. You shouldn't think that you need to tell the rest of America how to live their life. You need to tell the corporations how to knock off their crap while you're knocking off your crap, so that the world, the country, is a better place. You know.
Yeah, it can be.
And I don't give a hoot and a holler if you like what I'm saying. It's the truth, okay? Because I'm going to tell you something. There are two parties. As far as this country is concerned, there's only two parties. They don't like people that are independent and able to think for themselves. No, ain't happening. Don't like them kind of people. Well, that's fine and dandy. But I don't care if you're right or if you're left. Your chicken has two wings, don't it? Hmm. Turkey has two wings too, don't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the old turkey hawk and turkey vulture, they have two wings too, right? Each one of their wings have to be identical, feather for feather, in the right place. Identical, or that bird can't fly. Well, guess what? Same goes for DC. Neither party in DC gives a rat's butt about the American people.
Nope.
Oh, gee, how's that gonna go over? I don't know, but I really don't care. Why? 'Cause they don't care about us. You want us to vote? Give us somebody to vote for. 'Cause the only ones I see going wanting into DC are the ones that want to get to be billionaires, millionaires, trillionaires, whatever. As soon as they get there, they don't know who the hell the American people are that they are supposed to work for. Hello, yeah, you work for the American people, not the other way around. The American people don't work for you.
Yeah, and that's how they would hoodwink the nation. Is they convinced a majority of the people that we were supposed to work for the system, and it's the
Guess what?
opposite. The system was implemented to help the people.
Guess what? Here's another thing. Those in office, you know, you are who called the stimulus check stimmies. You are who got the most of the money. You are who keeps whining, wanting more of that money. And so are the corporations of the big wig conglomerate jobs. The big businesses. Oh, yeah, y'all want your stimmy checks. Oh, yeah. But the hell with the American people? Guess what? You don't need to give yourselves a raise every time you go back, and you don't need no more of your stimmy checks. No. And you do need to pay your fair share of taxes.
Yeah.
So take that to the bank and twirl at it. I don't care. And as far as I'm concerned, the bankers and credit unions go the same way. Okay? Y'all a joke because you're gonna give money to both sides of any damn war you can get started. Always have, always will. Why? Because that way you're making money off of both sides. And the banks and the credit unions, they get their bailouts too. When's enough enough? Hell yeah. I said it. I'll let it
Yes, the
go.
only thing that the future holds is when enough is enough.
So, y'all want to get mad at me? That's fine. You know what? I ain't on YouTube to make money. Nope. I don't care about working for YouTube. I'm not here to make money. I'm here to help people learn. And I will speak the truth. I will speak the truth about what's the hell's going on. Because overreach ain't what it is at all. It's just ridiculous.
Yep.
Ridiculous and unacceptable, unfathomed, you know? Yeah, what this country has turned into. So go for it. Say what you want. You can get mad at me. I don't care. I do not care.
With that, JT, I guess we can call it. It's already going to be 2 hours. I got to do some stuff too.
Alrighty. Let me get that last one. Maybe I did get that one.
Yeah, it's the only one.
Yeah. Anyhow, thank y'all for stopping by, and we'll talk again next week. Same time, same channel, same
Hmm.
people, maybe more.
Later,
You never
everybody.
know.
Later,
Have a
JT.
good
Thank you.
day. God bless y'all. Talk to you soon.